forests, thereby enabling people to migrate settle in these areas. Iron weapons were used to fight other communities, thereby increasing warfare conflict concepts professionals trade. Cultivation food. Migration and settlement. Conflicts wars. Defense. Powerful states. Increased food production since more land was brought under cultivation. Decline of other metals. The demand for iron tools enhanced trade between communities. The demand for iron increased trade between communities. Any 6x2 equals marks. A. State 5 economic activities of the Asante during the 19th century. 5 marks. They grew crops. They carried out trade among themselves other groups. They were involved in mining. They practice art and crafts basketry weaving. They practiced iron working blacksmithing. They did hunting gathering. They practices pottery making. They kept animals. Any 5x1 equals 5 marks. B. Describe the social organization of the Baganda kingdom during the pre-colonial period. 10 marks. They were organized into clans which had their own traditions, customs. They worshipped many gods. The people highly regarded the Kabaka, whom they considered to be semi-divine. The people believed in life after death, since they worshipped the spirit of the dead. The umbilical cord bones of Kabaka were preserved for future remembrance. The people performed sacrifices during the time of fortunes. They had symbols of royalty in form of royal drum spears crowns, which were kept at the Kabaka's palace. The Kabaka presided over the religious functions ritual. They had religious shrines which were scattered all over the kingdom. They were polygamous, married many wives in order to strengthen social relations. Any 5x2 equals 10 marks. A. Outline 5 grievances by Africans against apartheid in South Africa. 5 marks. Africans were not allowed to vote for black representatives in government. They were prohibited from living in urban areas sharing facilities with whites. The pass laws restricted African movement. They were confirmed into Bantustan's reserves. The labor laws denied them equal employment opportunities. Low-quality education prepared them for only low-cadre jobs. The Land Acts gave whites exclusive rights over land. Any 5x1 equals 5 marks. B. Explain 5 challenges faced by African nationalists in struggle for majority rule in South Africa. 10 marks. Some were arrested, detained, which crippled their activities, slowing down the struggle. The political parties were banned by the government, making it difficult for the nationalists to coordinate their activities. The nationalists were not united, created tension among themselves, rendering their struggle less effective. The government enacted pass laws which restricted movement, thus hampering their interaction. They lacked adequate funds to finance the struggle, thus slowing down their operations. They lacked press freedom, making it difficult for them to spread their ideas. They lacked advanced weapons, thereby making them less effective in their armed struggle. They had different approaches in their struggle, moderated radical wings, thus creating a loophole which was exploited by the government. Some nationalists were killed, which led to low morale, hence slowing down the momentum of struggle. Use of divide and rule policy to divide the African. Any 5x2 equals 10 marks. A. Name 3 communes that were established by the French Senegal during the colonial period. 3 marks. Saint Luce, Gowrie, Rufisque, Dakar. Any 3x1 equals 3 marks. B. Describe the structure of the British colonial administration in northern Nigeria. 12 marks. The colonial secretary was based in London. Under the colonial secretary was the governor, who was in charge of the administration of the colony. The colony was divided into provinces headed by a resident provincial commissioner who coordinated administration in the provinces. The provinces were further divided into district headed by district officers who were answerable to the provincial commissioner resident. Districts were subdivided into location emirates headed by the chiefs emirs. There were headmen who were in charge of the villages and assisted the emirs in matters of administration. Both the resident provincial commissioner and the district officers were British. Each province had a protectorate court of appeal which was presided over by the resident. Any 6x2 equals 12 marks. Name 3 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council, 3 marks. France, China, Russia, former USSR, Soviet Union, Britain, United Kingdom, United States of America. Any 3x1 equals 3 marks. B. Explain 6 ways in which the United Nations provides humanitarian assistance, 12 marks. It assists refugees, displaced persons with clothes in order to preserve human dignity. It assists in resettling displaced persons by negotiating for their resettlement in safe areas. It provides relief food in drought-stricken areas in order to avert loss of lives. It provides medical supplies to the victims of war or other calamities so as to restore human health. It provides shelter to the deserving cases by building houses, giving materials for construction. It provides education to vulnerable groups in order to promote literacy. It assists in evacuating people affected by flood to safer grounds to avert suffering. It protects refugees by ensuring their respective observance of basic human rights. Any 6x2 equals 12 marks. A. Identify 3 categories of members of the executive in the United States of America. 3 marks. The President, the Vice President, the Cabinet, the Civil Service. Any 3x1 equals 3 marks. B. Describe 6 functions of the federal government of the USA, 12 marks. It conducts, regulates trade and commerce between federal states, foreign nations. It is charge of the national defense of federal states against external aggression. It establishes federal courts which administers justice in the states of the Union. It levies, collects taxes in various federal states. It can declare war with foreign government with approval by the Congress. It makes issues currency, regulates its value. It pays foreign debt owed to other nations. It enacts legislation which governs the Federation. It admits new states into the Federation.